government banned certain social media apps like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. A mass protest in Nepal which was led by Gen Z. Naxalism is a big problem in many underdeveloped states like Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar. Balochistan is the most resource rich and yet most underdeveloped province of Pakistan. Their kids, they are traveling in imported cars, they are using branding clothes, luxury perfumes, watches. In Roman Empire, there were a lot of problems. Plague was spreading, unemployment, education was not there with the people, jobs were not there. They used to organize the games. So games, gladiators were there, people used to fight with each other. The social contract theory given by Hobbes, by Rousseau, and suddenly that circus was closed and people started realizing their actual problems, and that is why. Hello everyone, this is Atul Garg, your faculty for Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude at PW OnlyIAS. Now today I'm going to discuss one issue which has been the part of many national newspapers across Indian subcontinent, and this issue is about the recent protest which happened in Nepal. Now, most of you have read about these protests, that how exactly they started. What happened that in Nepal, government banned certain social media apps like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, which is basically a lifeline for most of the youth in Nepal, in fact across Indian subcontinent. Communication, socialization, many kind of education kind of things, all these are happening through these social media platforms only, and suddenly one day they were banned by the government. The reason behind this was that government asked all these apps to register with the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of Nepal, but they didn't did it, and because of that they were finally banned. But this led to a mass protest in Nepal which was led by Gen Z, a term which has become quite famous at the turn of this century. Gen Z, basically people who are born between 1997 and 2012. So usually no central leadership was there in it. So usually the whole protest was led by the youth of Nepal. Now, the youth, they protested, and how the government replied? They replied through curbing their voice, they replied through violence. Unfortunately, though the protest started in a very peaceful manner, yet it ended with the killing of many innocent people. A lot of public property was destroyed. In fact, the houses of PM and president were set ablaze. In fact, the parliament, the executive seat in Nepal was set afire. In fact, homes of former PM was also there, in which unfortunately his wife also died. Along with that, many youth lost their life in the protest. So how exactly all these things happened? I mean, just for banning social media, such kind of anger cannot be there among the people. What was the real reason behind all these things? The real reason was corruption. The real reason was injustice which was felt by the citizens of Nepal. In fact, a quote came to my mind when I was reading about this incident. This quote is there of Martin Luther King, that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if injustice is there, if that feeling is there among the people, it will bring threat to the basic foundations of the society everywhere. Now, how exactly all these things happen? Let's try to understand different ethical issues. Now, the first thing is feeling of injustice among Nepali youth. Now, justice, I hope all of you understand. What is justice? Justice is giving people what they deserve, or giving people their dues, or in simple words we can say that justice is about fair distribution of benefits and burden. Like in India, you will find that Naxalism is a big problem in many underdeveloped states like Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar. Now, what is common about all these states? These states are poor, high level of unemployment, illiteracy is there, but on the other side, all these states are highly resource rich. Now, logically, if we look at it, if these areas are resource rich, they should be more developed also. But the reality is completely different. Now, what happens that when these natural resources are extracted, it is the local people who face all the burden. So the burden thing they are facing, they have to face displacement, proper rehabilitation is not done, environmental pollution is also there. So all the burden is falling on them. But when it comes to benefit, the benefit is taken by the government or by the rich capitalist or by the people living in urban areas. They are taking benefits, they are getting richer, they are getting electricity for the burdens which are faced by the local population. And this unfair distribution of benefits and burdens leads to the feeling of injustice, which further results in internal security problems like separatism, Naxalism, and terrorism. I hope you are understanding. Same thing happens in Balochistan also in Pakistan. Balochistan is the most resource rich and yet most underdeveloped province of Pakistan. And same people also, they are rising against the government. Ideally, what should have happened, if the local people are getting all the burden, then they should also get the benefits of it. Benefits in form of, let's say, schools, education, basic education, healthcare services, infrastructure development. These things, skill-based education, these things would have been given to the local people. So fair distribution is there. How government should take the burden? By using more money, by using more resources. People in urban areas, they should pay more taxes, they should pay more fees for the electricity that they are using. Companies should go for CSR in these areas where people are facing all the burden. So this is how fair distribution of benefits and burden takes place, but unfortunately it was not happening in case of Nepal. What is happening? Huge inequalities you will see. Inequalities. Now one of the major slogan during those protests was hashtag NepoKids. Lot of nepotism you can see in Nepal. What is there? You will see images on Instagram, on Facebook about the lavish lifestyle lived by certain political families in Nepal. Their kids, they are traveling in imported cars, they are using branding clothes, luxury perfumes, watches. And this creates lot of anguish, lot of hatred among the Nepali youth, among the masses who are facing problems of unemployment, who are facing problems of illiteracy. They have to go for forced migration, they have to go to neighboring countries for basics, even small jobs to live a dignified life. Even that thing is not available with them. And on the other side, in contrast, some people are living such a lavish lifestyle. So that was one of the main reasons. Plus, lot of corruption was happening in Nepal. In fact, it was said that there was an anti-corruption movement going on Facebook. In order to curb that thing only, that was a major reason that why government banned Facebook. Okay, so it was just a trigger. The banning of social media was just a trigger. The main reasons were injustice, feeling of injustice, corruption, and inequality. Okay, one more issue is there that I would like to explain you. It is called bread and circus. Like during Roman times, in Roman Empire, there were a lot of problems. Plague was spreading, unemployment, education was not there with the people, jobs were not there. But government, Roman emperors, in order to deviate the mind of people from these things, they used to organize the games. Okay, so games, gladiators were there, people used to fight with each other. Basically, entertainment was given to them. And when these people used to visit these stadiums, they used to be given free breads. From there only this phrase came, bread and circus. Now, people in this bread and circus used to forget about their actual problem, that the circus were provided to the Nepali youth by social media, and suddenly that circus was closed and people started realizing their actual problems, and that is why they protested against the government in such a violent manner. So we must understand, we must try to apply all these ideas to the current things. So I hope you are understanding what's the problem, what are the ethical issues involved in these cases. Like another issue is freedom of expression, which was given by social media versus national security. At one place, government needs to ensure the freedom, the liberty to express their views. But on the other side, government also has to ensure that national interest is not compromised by the social media. Okay, it is said that social media fake news was spreading and many people, they were having conspiracies against the government. So such things can't be allowed in any country. So somewhere it is a failure of social media apps also to register themselves with the government. So many times in India also, both these things needs to be balanced. Apart from that, another thing which is associated with this protest was social contract. The social contract theory given by Hobbes, by Rousseau, all say that government has been established by people to a social contract, because people were facing a lot of problems. They came together, they sign a social contract. Signing social contract basically means having a constitution. Like in India, the first line of our constitution is, we the people give this constitution to ourselves. So people sign a social contract and they establish a government to safeguard their natural rights. And if the government is not able to do the same, then the people have the moral duty to throw away such government and tear apart the social contract, as said by Rousseau. Rousseau has said this thing, that the government's fundamental duty is to protect the basic freedoms, natural rights of the citizens. And even if that thing cannot be done, then that government has no moral authority to stay in power. So that was one of the reasons also, that why just after the protest, first of all the ban was lifted, and then the Home Minister, the PM resigned, and a new PM, interim PM was appointed. And to our surprise, she is the first PM who has been appointed through using chat apps and through medias like Discord. I mean, the votes for the new PM, they were made by using app called Discord. So I think this is also the first instance where Sushila Karki, that the woman, I mean, she was the former Chief Justice also of Nepal. So she was chosen based on the vote she got on Discord. So this case, this particular protest also showcase how important and influential social media has become. It has the power to even topple the governments today. So somewhere this power needs to be controlled, because with great power comes great responsibility. So somewhere even these social apps also have to take the responsibility. Understood? What is the way ahead? Way ahead for Nepal? What they need is trust and credibility between government and the people, and this trust and credibility will not be established through control, through domination, through use of power. This can only be done through participation. People should be allowed to participate in the process of governance. Proper transparency must be maintained. Consultation with the people shall be done before making such important decisions. Apart from that, basic media ethics, education needs to be done. Rather than banning the social media apps, the government should educate the people regarding the ethical use of social media. Plus, the kind of corruption which was happening in the government, proper institutional mechanisms must be drawn to check any kind of nepotism, any kind of corruption which is happening. Equitable, inclusive growth, equitable distribution of wealth shall be ensured. So, if the government will take these steps, then certainly such kind of protests can be avoided in the future. And this particular case is not only significant for Nepal, but for the whole world. The whole world must understand that if injustice happens at one place, it can happen anywhere. The basic role of power is not to dominate others, but to serve others, and all major democracies must understand this. So, this Nepal protest is a stark reminder for most of the democracies, for most of the countries in the developing world, in Indian subcontinent, that such thing can happen with them also if their governance model is not participative, it is not inclusive and sustainable. So, I hope you have understood this idea. If any problem is there, you guys can check out on PW's website and app. Thank you.